What's up everyone, Kato on the track, and today in this video I'm going to show you how I boosted my royalty collection by 523%. 523%. Now I know that number sounds crazy, and honestly I don't even know how I was missing out on this before, but the solution was actually very simple and it's a really easy process. And this isn't one of those "it sounds too good to be true" type of videos. This is actually a real solution, whether you're an artist, a producer, a songwriter, someone that makes your own music and puts it out there on the internet and streaming platforms. This is going to be a really simple solution for you. More likely than not, it's going to show you how to collect all this money that you might be missing out on. Now, before we jump into that part, it's important to understand some information first. Now, when it comes to royalties, there's several different types of royalties out there that you can collect as an artist, a producer, or a songwriter. One common type of royalty that you might have heard before is called performance royalties. And if you live in the US, there's three main collection societies: ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC. Now, these collection societies are the ones that are in charge of collecting what's called these performance royalties. Now, performance royalties, if you don't know, these are the royalties that you collect whenever your music is streamed or performed in a public arena. So let's say your music is played in a bar or played in a restaurant or even a hotel lobby. Or if your music is literally performed in a concert venue, then you as the creator of that music is supposed to collect what's called performance royalties, and BMI, ASCAP, or CSAC here in the US is supposed to collect that money for you. Now, if you live outside of the US, you probably have your own collection society. So depending on where you live, the best solution for you is to just jump on Google, type in your country, and type in collection society, and point you in the right direction of who to affiliate with. Now, the second type of royalty is called mechanical royalties. Back in the 90s and the 2000s, and even before that, that was considered CDs and vinyl. So anytime you made a sale from one of your CDs or your albums, that would generate what's called mechanical royalties. And even before that, the original origin of mechanical royalties was those old mechanical pianos that played themselves. So that's originally where the term came from, and now you can see how far back mechanical royalties was actually a thing. However, now that we're in the digital streaming era, most of your mechanical royalties are going to come from streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon, all of those platforms. Now, there's another type of royalty that you should be aware of, which if you're watching this video right now on YouTube, then you should definitely know what type of royalties this one is. It's called micro sync royalties. And these are essentially royalties that are generated from these platforms like YouTube, where it generates ad revenue, and that ad revenue is split with the creators of that content. Those are called micro sync royalties. Now, like I mentioned before, we are in the streaming era, and that kind of changed the game for everything. And this is where it gets complicated, because every single territory outside of the US, whether you live in the UK or Germany or somewhere in Asia, they all have their different collection societies. And so if you distribute your new album or your new single and it gets on Spotify and Apple Music, and you're getting a lot of streams outside of where you live, unless you're directly affiliated with those collection societies where you're getting a lot of streams, you're most likely not going to be able to collect that money. Again, a lot of those royalties are mechanical royalties because those are the royalties that are generated from these streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music. So this is where the problem comes in for a lot of music creators, because they don't even know this. It's not like someone's going to send you an email and be like, hey, you have a ton of streams in the UK and you have this big pot of money sitting there, come collect it. And that's something that I didn't know before, and that's why I was missing out on a huge chunk of my royalties, specifically mechanical royalties. And so what's the solution? It's called Songtrust. Songtrust is what's called a publishing administrator. They're a global collection society. So basically, they have affiliated with all these collection societies around the world. They can go in and collect those global royalties for you and distribute it back to you as the creator of that music. And this is why, as a producer, I had produced a lot of music for a lot of different artists. It was out there on streaming platforms. It was generating all these royalties, but I wasn't signed up with a pub admin. admin, and I didn't know how to collect that money for myself. So when I found out about Songtrust and pub admins, I realized that I had a ton of money just sitting out there waiting to be collected. And so I signed up with Songtrust, and that's when my pot of royalties really started to grow, because they were able to collect a lot of that money that was sitting out there that I didn't even know about. And that is essentially how I was able to boost my royalty collection by 523%, because I had all this other money sitting out there that I didn't even know about that was just waiting to be collected. Now, the really important part about Songtrust that I like is that typically back in the day when you would sign a pub admin deal with like one of these big publishing companies, you would have to give them a percentage of your publishing rights. With Songtrust, it's not like that. You pay a one-time fee to sign up, and then they only take a finder's fee of 15% of whatever they collect for you. But essentially, you're keeping 100% of all your publishing rights, and you still retain all the ownership to your music, which is perfect for any music creator. Now, the second part I like about Songtrust is the full transparency. Once you sign up, you can log into your dashboard, you can register your own music, and it's a really, really simple process. It literally takes like 60 seconds to register a song. So all you got to do is have some basic information, all the songwriters, percentages, and they have a really helpful Spotify tool where you can search your song, and you click on your song and it'll automatically grab the ISRC code, which is like a unique identification number for your song, so that they can go in there, track it, collect all that money for you, and send it back. Now, the one thing that you should know about royalties is that the whole royalty collection process is a super, super slow process. It's not a quick thing, so when you register these songs, it's gonna take some time for them to collect and process all of that data, because these people are getting like probably thousands and thousands and thousands of submissions every single day. And then they have to actually go out there, collect your money, and send it back to you. So it's a really slow process. Give it some time after you sign up. I think for my first Songtrust check, it took about 9 months to collect my first check, but I'm telling you, once I got that first check, it was definitely worth it. And it proved to me that it was definitely a worthwhile investment, because I would continue collecting all that money that I was missing out on before, that wasn't being collected by my PRO or any of these other collection societies. Now, if you want to know how to collect 99.9% of all your royalties, I already mentioned a couple of the collection societies in this video, but you want to make sure you're covering all your bases, because like I mentioned, there's different types of royalties. That you have your master copyright, you have your publishing copyright. And so unfortunately, there's not like one collection society that collects everything for you. You got to do your due diligence and make sure that you cover all your bases. So I have a separate video that I'll link in the description, but if you're a songwriter and you have music out there on streaming platforms, you have to get a pub admin like Songtrust. So if you want to sign up with Songtrust, I put a link in the description of this video, but I have a special promo code that you can use when you sign up for Songtrust. Again, it's a one-time fee. You just pay it the one time and you're good to go. So I hope all this information helped and gave you some new information and some new direction on where to go and how to collect your money. Again, all the information I talked about is in the description of this video if you want to check it out. Much love to all you songwriters, artists, and producers out there. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all of that for more videos just like this one and others that you can check out right here. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Kato Producer. See you in the next video.